Blues, barrelhouse, or ragtime. Syncopation, scat, swing, or jive. Boogie-woogie, bop, rebop, or rock and roll. It's still jazz. Still the world's most popular music. What is jazz? Well, for one thing, jazz is largely innovation and improvisation. They say that most good jazz is not written but played. And though written down, jazz doesn't necessarily have to be played that way, and usually isn't. In short, jazz is the end product of expert wind, string, and percussion instrumentalists joined together for a musical binge. It's musical harmony and counterpoint on a perpetual orgy. Now, if you'll sit back for an hour or so, let's take a nostalgic look and listen at some of the best-remembered greats of America's jazz world. Those skillful interpreters and stylists whose rare talents lifted jazz out of the back alleys, the saloons, and the nightclubs and made it rightfully the music for millions. Here are some of jazzdom's greatest stars as captured by the movie cameras while beating out a melodious patter upon the ears of their eras. Begin with Cab Calloway, alias Mr. Hi-de-Hi. Like several others before him and since, his fame started at the Hutton Club in New York's Harlem. If not the first scat singer in jazz history, he certainly was the first to make it pay in a big way. He was the Elvis Presley of his time, but his antics were called jive in those days instead of rock and roll. Cab's great bands included star performers like Dizzy Gillespie, Chu Berry, and Milt Hinton. Now listen to Cab doing his famous Smokey Joe.
Now that success was handed down from a bloke in Chinatown. I think its name was Smokey Joe, and he used to hide-de-ho, but now he's Zazu, Zazu, Zazu. If he's Zazu, Zazu, Zazu.
Musicians first sneered at this gait, at his Yale background, his Connecticut Yankee band, his Maine Stein song, and his nasal delivery. But they soon had to admit that Rudy Valley, nicknamed the Vagabond Lover, was among the most popular in what was known as the crooner era. This was the way Rudy and his Yankees tricked up, "You'll do it someday, so why not now?"
You'll do it someday, so why not now? Oh, won't you let me try to show you how to take what you're missing? Oh, it's a shame you'll miss us kissing, and the rest of the game in open spaces where men are men, but you can never wait. The G's are hands, don't keep me waiting. All right, you follow, you'll do it someday, so why not now?
Duke Ellington, and you've named the greatest single contributor to the world of jazz. Piano virtuoso, composer, arranger, and trainer of such noted jazzmen as Sonny Greer, Billy Strayhorn, Earl Hines, and Johnny Hodges, the Duke is another of the famous graduates from Harlem's Cotton Club. It was there that he originated those Into the Dawn clam bakes or jam sessions, at which some of the world's finest jazz effects were improvised by him and his sidemen and incorporated into his best-known compositions. Let's listen to Duke Ellington and his famous orchestra.
I'll give you our conception of the most popular composition in recent years, that haunting melody, Stormy Weather.
If you don't happen to remember, Harold Arlen wrote Stormy Weather, and it's still one of the great jazz tunes. Note how the movies liked to embellish filmed music about 20 years ago with syrupy trick effects. To accentuate the best of his rhythm numbers, Ellington often used tap dancers such as Bessie Dudley and Florence Hill. Sammy, Donald, and John Jr. You'll see them all in a moment. When Jr. died in 1935, John Sr. took his place in the quartet. Because their voices imitated several instruments, they were their own vocalists and sidemen combined. Listen.
Everybody sing along using your hands. Don't use a cornet or violin. If you sing loud, folks, you're sure to win. Sing, I ain't got nobody. When the ball bounces, all join in. I ain't got nobody, and nobody cares for me. That's why I'm sad and lonely. Won't somebody come and take a chance with me? I sing sweet love songs all the time. Won't you come and be my sweet baby mine? I ain't got nobody, and nobody cares for me. 'Cause I ain't got nobody, I ain't got nobody, and nobody cares for me. That's why I'm so sad and lonely, baby. Won't somebody take a chance with me? 'Cause I sing sweet love songs all the time. Won't you come and be my sweet baby mine? I ain't got nobody, nobody, babe, and nobody cares for me. And nobody cares for me.
Red's original sidemen were called the Five Pennies, and some of the finest jazz men of the era learned their ABCs from Red Nichols.
When a St. Louis woman comes down to New Orleans, when a St. Louis woman comes down to New Orleans, she will be wearing more diamonds than Uncle Sam's got Marines.
Chiefly prominent as vocalists and loyal fans, the fair sex has contributed few big-time bands to jazz. But ranking with some of the best of either sex was Ina Ray Hutton, band leader, vocalist, hoofer, and no relation to film star Betty Hutton. Here's Ina Ray and her girls doing Truckin'.
up there in Harlem. So someone started trucking. As soon as the news got round, folks downtown came up to Harlem. Saw everybody trucking. It didn't take long before the hi-hats were doing it, Park Avenue and it all over town. You see them scuffling, shuffling, trucking along. It spread like a forest blaze, became a craze, and thanks to Harlem now, everybody's trucking.
No figure in jazz is more world-renowned than the incomparable Louis Old Satchmo Armstrong. He of the gravel voice and liquid horn of Basin Street, New Orleans, cradle of the Negro tradition in American jazz. Helped along on his way to the top by King Oliver in Chicago and Fletcher Henderson in New York, he soon eclipsed both masters and all rivals in reputation. For this film jazz parody on Paradise, Louis recorded his famous "That's Why They Call Me Shine."
Oh, chocolate drop, that's me, girl. My hair is curly just because my teeth are burning. Oh, just because I always wear a smile. I like to dress up in the latest style, just because I'm glad I'm living. Oh, I take all my troubles, all with a smile. Just because my color shade makes different men. That's why they call me shine.
Recognize the Wabash Blues? a song that had all the moan and manners of Old South jazz at its best. The interpreter is one of the great trombonists of his time, Russ Morgan. Another early scat singer and Dixieland trumpeter was Louis Prima. Listen to his
Chinatown, my Chinatown, where the lights are low. Dreamy, scheming Chinatown, drifting soft and low. How I love my Chinatown. Oh, Chinatown, down, down, la, la, la. I'm in love with you.
But when scat singing and Dixieland jazz were giving way to swing, one of the very first to head up a swing group was Bing Crosby's little brother, Bob. After serving as vocalist with the Dorsey Brothers, Bob picked some of the finest sidemen and turned them into his memorable Bobcats. Here's their recording of How'd You Like To?
How'd you like to miss me like the devil? Would you be so kind as to keep me on your mind all day? I told my doctor, my lawyer, to see what they think. The moment they saw you, were they tickled pink? So how'd you like to love me and no other? How'd you like to drop in, meet my mother? How'd you like your toothbrush hanging right alongside of mine? How'd you like it? As for me, I'd like it fine.
The South Rampart Street Parade. Look out.
Lopez's band. Note the anthems of Shouting St. Vitus that later bounced her to scene stardom.
You love my home, me love you. That's the way the dipsy doodle works. So the dipsy doodle is easy to find. It goes to stores in the back of your mind. You never know it until it's too late. Ho, ho, you're in such a terrible state. The moon jumped over the cow. Hey, diddle. That's the way the dipsy doodle works. When you think that you're crazy, you're the victim of the dipsy doodle. But it's not your mind that's hazy. It's your tongue that's at fault, not your noodle. Oh, you better listen and try to be good. Try to do all the things that you should. The dipsy doodle will get you someday. You think you're crazy, the things that you'll say, like rhythm got I, oh, hot am I. That's the way the dipsy doodle works. Of the dipsy doodle, but it's not your mind that's easy. It's your tongue that's at fault, not your noodle. Oh, you better listen and try to be good. Try to do all the things that you should. The dipsy doodle will get you someday. You think you're crazy, the things that you'll say, like rhythm got I, oh, hot am I. That's the way the dipsy doodle works.
Not even the classics were safe from the early jazz man's roving syncopation. This is Isham Jones' version of Liszt's Second Hungarian Rhapsody. A saxophonist and famous band leader, Jones wrote such big song hits as It Had to Be You and I'll See You in My Dreams, and once gave a boy composer his first boost to fame by introducing Hoagy Carmichael's Stardust. Among the jazz greats who came to eminence via Paul Whiteman's band was Henry Bussey, a master trumpeter with a tone of magic delicacy and graceful fingering. His most famous composition, his own, was Hot Lips. Let's shift the scene now to Boogie Woogie. Bob Chester's was one of the great improvising groups of jazzdom. Chester surrounded himself with the most capable sidemen, and then was showman enough to let them steal the show from him. What about big-name bands of the early airwaves? Ben Burney, Vincent Lopez, Paul Whiteman, Guy Lombardo. When they first began heating up radio listeners, among the sweetest and hottest was Hal Kemp, playing his own Swamp Fire. Jazz anthology would be complete without the Dorsey brothers. The world of jazz will long remember Jimmy Dorsey, truly one of the greatest on the clarinet and alto sax. With World War II, everything else was forgotten, jazz included, while America dedicated herself to victory. A young GI named Frank Lesser, destined to become one of our best popular composers, wrote a song about a fighting Navy chaplain. A famous singer named Johnny Scat Davis abandoned his scat or bop style long enough to enunciate clearly those inspirational battle lyrics. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition.
And manned the gun himself as he laid aside the book, shouting, praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition, and we'll all stay free. Praise the Lord and swing into position. Can't afford to be a politician. Praise the Lord, we're all between perdition and the deep blue sea. Yes, the sky pilot said it. You've got to give him credit, for a son of a gunner was he. Shouting, praise the Lord, we're on a mighty mission. All aboard, and we're not going fishing. Praise the Lord, and pass the ammunition, and we'll all stay free.
Those drums? No one but Gene Krupa played them like that. A fact that even some of rival Buddy Rich's fans sometimes concede. Gene used to star with the Benny Goodman Band. Later branched out with his own, featuring Roy Eldridge on the trumpet and Charlie Ventura on the tenor and baritone saxons. At the moment, Krupa and the boys are beating and blowing out their specialty number, Jungle Madness.
for singing a song.
Ever see Peggy Lee cut a new platter? It's a good day for the record business whenever she does. Here is TV star Peggy, who learned her early beat from Benny Goodman, recording It's a Good Day.
For shining your shoes, and it's a good day for losing the blues. Everything to gain and nothing to lose. A good day from morning till night. I said to the sun, good morning, sun. Rise and shine today. You know you gotta get going if you're gonna make a showing. And you got the right of way, 'cause it's a good day for paying your bills, and it's a good day for curing your ills. So take a deep breath and throw away the pills, 'cause it's a good day from morning till night. Good morning, sun. Good morning, sun. Rise and shine today. You know you gotta get going if you're gonna make a showing. And you got the right of way, 'cause it's a good day for paying your bills, and it's a good day for curing your ills. So take a deep breath and throw away the pills, 'cause it's a good day from morning till night. Yes, it's a good day from morning till night. A good day from morning till night. A good day from morning till night.
Way from the champagne polkas of Lawrence Welk, one of TV's greatest stars, to the world of jazz, with its improvised notes and syncopated rhythms. But listen to some early Welk, swinging Ain't She Sweet. Here's drummer Buddy Rich and Artie Shaw, two more great names in jazz. To most hipsters, there are only two great masters of the clarinet, Benny Goodman out of Chicago and Artie Shaw out of New York. Take your pick. Here's the Wilm Trio, starring Sammy Davis Jr., singer of scat, boogie-woogie, and other vocal styles, mimic, hoofer, and comic. This rendition of Boogie Woogie Piggy marked Sammy's film debut some years ago.
Little piggy had none, because this little piggy was the boogie woogie piggy, and he did the boogie all the way home.
Oink, oink.
A boogie woogie piggy.
Oink, oink.
Boogie woogie.
Oink, oink.
Oink, oink. A boogie woogie piggy with the oink, oink. This little piggy likes to beat, and this piggy thought it was divine. But this little piggy was a happy little piggy, so he did the boogie all the time. Oink, oink, a boogly boogly piggy, oink, oink, a piggly piggly, oink, 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 a boogly boogly piggy with the oink, oink.
I'm going to double it. Make sure you double it, boy. They watch you very closely. Roll it. A little cow sleep. That swing, see, that bad swing, so cow sleep. Coming down the homestead, yeah.
Walking, boy, walking, yes.